What's up guys, it's iOS Pro, and today I'm going to tell you guys my experience after using the new iPhone SE 2nd generation for about 4 months now. Tell you guys what I love about it and the cool things that I like about the design and the features. The first one is the design here. So you guys can see it's using the exact same design from the iPhone 8 here. The same frame, housing, glass back. But the only difference is the Apple logo has moved from the top to the center, just like on the iPhone 11s here. And they've removed the iPhone text and just left the product red badging there, just like on the iPhone 11. See, on the iPhone 8 here, they have the iPhone text here, and they removed that on the new iPhone SE 2nd generation here. So still using the same screen, same camera, everything. But comparing that to the old iPhone SE 1st generation, see, you have the exact same design for the iPhone 5 here. So when I get my iPhone 5, see, it's using the exact same design as the iPhone 5 here. So this is the iPhone SE 1st generation on the right. So you guys can see the iPhone 5 and the SE 1st generation have the exact same designs in every way, except for the flash here. And Touch ID comparing to the normal home button here, you guys can see the only difference is the iPhone SE 1st generation can run up to iOS 14 today, which the iPhone 5 is stuck on iOS 10 here, as you guys can see. So it's still impressive that the original iPhone SE can still run the latest version of iOS with an A9 chip in it, comparing to A13. So that's what I love about the designs there, so really cool. Okay, next up, I want to talk about the speed and performance of the iPhone SE 2020 here. So when I'm comparing it to the original iPhone SE 1st generation here, the only difference is the original iPhone SE has 2 gigs of RAM in it, was the A9 chip. The 2nd generation has 3 gigs of RAM, almost 3 gigs, with the A13 in here. So usually when I open up apps and everything, you expect the new iPhone SE 2020 to be faster with the new A13. But when I compare them at the same time on the same betas here, settings, you guys can see it's very, very close. Yeah, it's exactly the same. Now going into tabs here, it's pretty noticeable as well. So you see when I tap into general here, you guys can see there's almost no difference when going into tabs here. And check it for updates, exactly the same speed here. So when I want to go into battery here, you guys can see it's exactly the same when doing that as well. Same with the home screen tab, exactly the same. Control center, a little bit faster on this one. So that's pretty impressive that the speed is a little bit different here. But the only spot I've noticed it is with loading Apple. You see, when I link apple.com here, that the iPhone SE 2nd generation came first. I'll do it again. So you see the iPhone SE 2nd gen came first again. So really cool. When I'm loading tabs here, like the Apple website here, when I click it, you guys can see the iPhone SE 2nd generation came first. I'll do it again. When loading web pages, it's pretty noticeable that the new iPhone SE will be faster than the old one. So pretty impressive for the speed rules there. So where you're loading small apps like settings, camera, photos, those will be about the same. You see, when I did camera here, I'll do it again. When I load camera here, it opens up at the exact same time. I'll do it one more time here. So about the same. When I do the front camera here, the iPhone SE 1st generation came first that time. And now it's about the same there. You guys can see the cameras on the new iPhone SE are definitely better with the front camera. They've upgraded it to have exactly the front camera of the iPhone 8. Previously with the iPhone SE 1st generation, they used the same front camera for the 6S. So overall better as well. So really, really cool. Okay, next up, I want to talk about the vibration differences between both phones with the different vibration engines they have. So the 1st generation iPhone SE had the rotary motor from the old days, from the original iPhone up to now. But the new iPhone SE had a Taptic engine, which is like a linear actuator. Basically, here's the rotor motor. When I put it on the table here, you guys can hear that. And now, the Taptic engine. So you guys can hear that here. I'll do it again for the rotor here. That's the 1st generation. Now the 2nd. As you guys can hear the differences there, because the Taptic engine basically uses like coils to generate electricity around magnets, and that's what creates the vibration in the Taptic engine. So that's all it is. So the original iPhone SE does using a motor to create the vibration, but again, the new one had the linear actuator where coils are like wound around magnets, where when you apply electricity to them, the magnets create movement, and that's what you're feeling when you use the Taptic engine. Just like that. See, that's the sound it makes. So those are the differences between the vibration sounds. So really cool there. Okay, this next thing I want to talk about are the differences between the speakers here. So there's a big difference between speakers here. So I pulled up a YouTube video from my channel. So to demo this, here's full blast on the 1st generation. You can hear it doesn't sound very good, but when I do it on the second generation here, ooh, huge difference there. You guys can hear the difference there. I'll do it again. First gen, second gen. So you see with the stereo speakers, it sounds much better on the second generation because the first generation has a very, very bad speaker, the same from the iPhone 5 and below. But now with the new one, it has the same speakers from the iPhone 8 and stereo speakers and everything, which means they're using the top speaker and the bottom speaker at the same time, which makes it sound much, much better for playing music and videos. So those are huge differences between the sounds there. So really cool. Okay, this last thing I want to talk about are the camera differences between both phones here. So when I go in the camera app here, you guys can see that the new iPhone SE has a better animation when switching cameras compared to the old one. It is on the old one, it jumps between cameras. We switch them like that. See, the animation it jumps doesn't look very good, but the new one has a much smoother animation where where the picture crops to fit the screen. So really cool. And on the old one, we swiped up, you get filters. On the new one, you get the same controls from the iPhone 11, which is really cool. This is also available on the iPhone 7s, I think, or the 8s, I'm not sure, on iOS 14. It's really cool. The only thing you don't have is the night mode, because that's only available if you have the ultra-wide camera, I think. I do not know. But in this next one, you guys can see it even gains the same control design from the iPhone 11 here on the new one, compared to the old one here. And on the old one, we tap and hold on the shutter, you get burst photos. On the new one here, we do the same thing, it records the video. So you guys can see it, even though you're still in the photo camera, you can still tap and hold to record video instead of burst. So it gave the iPhone SE second generation gave the ability to record videos while in the photo camera. That's a really nice little feature there. And the new one also gave the ability to change camera qualities right from the camera app. The original iPhone SE doesn't support that because it has the A9 chip. You need at least an A10 chip or above to have that feature. So that's really cool. So that's pretty much it for this video. If I did a video, give it a thumbs up. Peace out.